Okay, everybody, this is actually my second time recording this, because for some reason, the the software didn't record my voice, maybe I was off, I don't know. The point being, this is annoying, but oh well. It worked out fine enough. And of course, here comes the troll. Basically, I'm living with a guy, because I'm living with my girlfriend. Anyways, the point being, he occasionally decides to troll me, and he's probably going to troll me throughout this recording. Let's just let this load. Yeah, okay. No, yeah, spoiler alert, blah blah. When we last left off, I was going towards the Sultanate of Johor to conquer it, because I want Asians. Specifically, I want the gold that they farm. Okay, well, farm mine. Okay, so here we go. And last time, like I said, we got some African colonies. We got all that done. And also, I learned something from this last time. I need to get these guys out of Saxony as best I can, because these guys are freaking annoying. And despite what you might think, they usually don't actually go after, well, sorry, let me rephrase that. Bavaria, as you can see here, is number 9, and they usually don't actually top out the great power list, and thank God. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go to Johor and overtake it. And as you can see, we're also increasing our influence in South America. Let's see here, see Peru, because we want people to buy our goods. And Sphere of Influence allows us to basically force them to buy ours and gives us priority, blah blah blah. And as you can see, our industry is climbing and climbing and climbing. And Bohemia is already most of our score. But Slovakia is gaining, and we'll give them some more, along with Alfold. And maybe give them some fabric. And ooh, our capitalists are building more. Explosives, not great, but not horrible either. Especially considering how we are going to... Oh! Britain is going after Venezuela. Our king died. Yay! Well, not really yay, but oh well. So here we go. Yeah, see, Britain often goes after them because, well, they're right beside them. As you can see right here, they have a colony right next to them, which gives them a bonus. Okay, and we're just waiting for these guys to make their way through. And as you can see, they're being damaged, but they will get in there in time to unload their troops. So we'll just let them do that. And see, there we go. But it's just as easy that we just build some more ships. Build them in the Mediterranean. There we go. Problem solved. And while we're at it, we will build some more cavalry. And we're about to research idealism, which of course means that our research will skyrocket. Which is good, because we want to be high in the world's research. Because especially if we want to go after Prussia, because they are an advanced country and they are very, very powerful. Now let's see, we'll just reduce some of these middle class taxes, and we'll be good there. Okay, Johor. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is spread out my troops, because in Victoria 2, how fast your troops take a province is determined by the reconnaissance value, which is not increased by how many troops there are, unfortunately. Not the system I like, but you know what? Oh well. Okay, here we go. We can advance in Peru and cut out... Oh, look, see? They are already friendly in Saxony. They will go after Saxony because it is one of their main ways... well, that's basically what they have to do to make the North German Federation. They also have to have Hanover in their sphere, keep all the rest of these little minors, and have Holstein and, right here, Austria. These two provinces right there that we took. And because we're just like them, they don't get it back free like they would if it was Germany. Or if it was Denmark. And of course they're going after Baden. Great. Oh well. And here we go. Oh, more liberalism. That's good. Liberalism is always good. And here we go. We get liberals again. We won't get to build any more completely ourselves. However, we can still do this. We can still get them subsidies. And population will assimilate faster, which isn't too significant in this empire, unfortunately, because a lot of them have cores, but it's still useful, especially say right here, because there's a large Slovene population, and they will start to assimilate more. As we can see, not many people really leaving yet. That's because, well, we're not really reformed. In fact, we're not reformed at all, except for the ruling party only and outlawing slavery. But people won't start to leave in massive numbers until later. So we won't have to worry about that right away. And we'll just wait for them to take it over, and we will have a very good position within the Asian mainland, and add to our already substantial income from gold mines, because we have, well, we don't have that there. We have right there. See? Gold and gold. So that's good. Gold is always good, because it's always in demand, and it will bring direct income to your treasury, which is something no other good does. Okay, there we go. We annexed them. Now, you probably won't be able to actually, turn them into a state for quite a long time, if ever. But that still doesn't mean they're not good. And is there any South Germans at all in the colonies? Nope, does not look like it. And there's that kind of glitched out Austrian West Morocco. And there we go. We're increasing our craftsmen. Oh, crap. Saxony. Okay, there we go. We'll expel the Prussians. That'll buy us some time. And discredit the French. Actually, wait, no, we'll wait until we can expel them. Okay. And we'll decrease them. And while we're out, I'm going to see how much investments we have in these guys. Do we have any? Yes, we have 100% of all. So that's good. So in other words, we'll be able to help them with that. And with him and Bavaria, what are you doing? My girlfriend just grabbed the mouse, and she's changing the taxes to all of them on the poor and none of them on the all of them on the rich and none of them on the poor, and now we're in massive deficit and we're going to go bankrupt. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Say hi to the world.
Hi, world.
There we go. And this little guy is the brother. And he says, I'm not trying not to sound bored as fuck. I'm not bored. I actually really like this game. And I especially like the changes that they put into it. For example, here we see that there's school systems instead of just having these ones. And especially with the uncivs. With the uncivilized nations, or primitive, whatever status they are at the time. With the advancement system, I really do like that. It's kind of annoying with some of them because it seems a whole lot easier to do it before, where it was just get some technologies and have a certain one. But I still really like it, how they actually gave them, a chance. Which is really nice. That's weird. Huh. You don't really see that often. That Punjab actually expanded. Well, that's good for them. Not that I really care, but anything that weakens the British, I am for. Because, as we can see right here, Britain is allied with Prussia. And I'm probably going to have to do something about that eventually. But for right now, we'll just see how that goes. Because, of course, alright, yeah. or fiddling around with my taxes. So the problem with hiking taxes on the rich is that then they won't have any money to invest, and especially with railroads, that's actually a big deal. Because with the railroads, they will actually. I usually don't really invest in that much because it's not really, it's not really a good use of time. Otherwise, I would just do it myself. But I usually just let them do it and just basically just let them build all the railroads for me. That's mostly why I actually even bother with anything other than planned economy, because I can be lazy like that, which is nice. So I should just be able to take a little break off that. And they're in cordial, still good. Okay, we got our empire settled. And now we are going to go out to the final piece of the puzzle before we level off, because I want to go after Oman. Now the reason for that is we have this colony right here on the edge of Africa. I will colonize Africa, and Africa is loaded with riches. If you can get there, and if you can get them to turn to states, or even just otherwise, they can have a massive amount of soldiers and raw materials that will kickstart your economy. And the best way to do that is to have colonies and to send them in to colonize it, so that obviously you can get close to them. And for right now, I'll have the Mombasa on the east coast and West Morocco on the west coast. And I'll colonize from both sides. They'll probably still get some of it, like the other colonies, or the other colonizing powers. In fact, I'm sure they will. But I'll at least be able to grab some of the riches. And maybe even grab some in this direction, too. So we can establish a Austrian world empire. And if we can defeat the Prussians, even better. Plus also colonies give us military power. So I'm going to go after Oman. And pretty much everyone picks on Oman. Look, the Portuguese actually have already stolen Lindi. So I'm going to go after Oman. Demand concession. There we go. So we'll be able to take Mombasa and actually colonize Africa for once. Because a big problem I have often, especially with either the northern powers or the uncivs, is I don't get a chance to colonize Africa. And I really do like colonizing Africa. I mean, it's interesting to see what the AI will do on its own. Okay, why is everyone trying to go up to Tuscany? Oh well. Okay, and I still need a little bit more. Oh, crap. No. Looks like we're gonna have a few problems with France. Not that I really didn't foresee that, considering the fact that to form Germany, we need these parts, and that's actually pretty much the hardest part. It's not to beat down Prussia. Oh no, because although France's military power is weaker, in time it does tend to get pretty strong, even though they're, excuse me, even though their population is less than ours, they tend to actually be quite powerful, because they tend to vote almost all of their, well, not almost all the population, obviously, but they tend to vote quite a lot of population to it, to actually build a military, because the French, to nerf them, okay, in the beginning, in the first stages of this game, until this expansion came out, which is one thing I kind of like, kind of don't, it depends, but basically they made it so that the French population growth rate goes way, way down, so that they aren't just, the superpower of Europe. So they're still powerful, but there's no real long-term viability, which in other words, it killed basically any hope I really had of, well, not hope, but plans I had of actually playing this for either an LP or even just playing it in general. So, no. But here we start on Experimental Railroad, which is level 1 railroads, which will kickstart the economy really well. Because the more railroads we build, the more we can have a reform. And of course, as you can imagine, this is a direct result of, right here, suffrage movement. And as you can see, they're getting very radical. Okay, Jacobin rebels, not really a threat right now. So I am going to go after, nah, I won't get the one yet. I will go to state-controlled unions, because the unions will increase social reform desire, which will push people towards a socialist later, and it will also stem that tide of emigration, which will become quite significant in later days. I'll show you at the end of a month. Tunisia gains 1 life rating. Not really too significant there, but it's alright. Okay, so we are going to start actually putting together our fleet. Just put that all in there. And we need a couple more soldiers to fill up our boats. So we go over there. And Oman is really easy to defeat. That's another reason why I go after them, because they don't really require a huge investment in troops. Just credit them there. And like I said, I learned earlier, Prussia is a huge pain in the ass in terms of trying to defend Saxony from them. And you want to defend Saxony from them, because it makes it a whole lot easier to prevent the North German Federation from forming, which is what you want to do because you want to keep them weak. And later, once I have enough troops, I should be able to take Schlesien from them. Because once I take that back, because it was originally an Austrian territory, then I can basically cripple them. Because look at these population numbers. 50,000, another 500,000, so 800,000 people, in other words. 800,000 people, almost as much. Basically, it's another Slovakia, or another Alfold. That is hugely significant, and it usually is a lot of their industrial score. And actually, speaking of that, I'm going to expand our factories more, because more factories equals more better, as you all know. Okay, now we are off to beat down some Africans. Don't you love beating down Africans? It's a Victoria 2 player's favorite pastime. There we go, we got our fleet together. And we're going to transfer them here first, and then go all the way to Oman. And here we get prophylaxis against malaria, which is, again, a very good tech. And we only have a few medicine techs left. Because what will that do? It'll increase the minimum life rating. I assumed you already played Victoria 2 before, but in case you haven't, to colonize provinces, they have a life rating. And you need to meet that minimum life rating through technology to be able to colonize it. So here we see it's 15. Of course, we cannot colonize that because, as we see right here, our minimum life rating is 30. It would be 35, which is the default, but we got that medicine tech, so it's only 30. Which is not really significant right now, but it will be later. Because once we get this technology, nationalism and imperialism, that will go down to 20. And then once we get machine guns, it'll go down to 10, which will make you able to colonize everything in the world. Of course, you also need to have a naval base close by, but it's something. And here we see our rates going down a bit. And subsidies, great. As you can guess, subsidies cost money. That's why they're called subsidies. Now, it isn't too significant right now, but later it will become a pain in the ass to be able to maintain those. But if you don't, then your factories are going to fall apart. So I usually try to manipulate around and push workers towards the best factories I can. Expel them. There we go. We're actually doing pretty well against these guys. And they're not going after Baden anymore. The French. So overall, we're doing better than once before. But yeah, I lost the radio recording, well, audio recording. And that really sucked, because actually, this guy says some pretty funny things. And yeah, there I am on Steam. If you want to add me, I'll send you the information. I'm on sometimes. Again, I'm not a Let's Player by trade or anything like that. I just decide, you know, I have a mic sitting around. Might as well try. I like gaming. And I like watching a lot of Let's Plays. You know, the big ones. Nintendo Capri Sun, H.G. Bailey, Chuck Conroy, etc., etc. They really were, in a sense, my inspirations. So I decided I play this game a lot. Why not actually make a Let's Play out of it? Okay, so we got Experimental Railroad, and we are going on to State and Government. Because they will give us more plurality tech, well, plurality bonuses, and a new national focus point. And because of the changes in the House Divide, those are actually significant for us now. Because what it used to be, it was for every million of the primary accepted cultures, you got one national focus point. However, as we see here, 1.93 people of primary accepted cultures give us 4.85 focus points, which is a whole lot more than it was before. Thank God. Which, of course, kind of makes up for the fact there's less assimilation, but still. Because then, even small powers actually have a chance to get a lot of focus points. So we see our maximum is 4.85. By the time we get to here, when it'll be 5, then it'll actually be, well, by the time we get to here, then we'll actually probably have five national focus points, and we'll basically have the maximum you need. You can have more, and it is beneficial to have more, but the real, golden standard is 5. Because that allows you to actually, put your full energy into colonizing Africa. Where's that damn ship? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Good. We're almost there. And here we go. Here we have Omani's Africa. Usually Oman doesn't really have any brigades here. In fact, look, they have 0 brigades. They have no military strength whatsoever. I won't take any more from them simply because, infamy. However, I will help myself to their colony, because that will put us in a very good position in terms of being on the world stage. So I'll just send them up there and send my ships to blockade their main port. And that will hopefully give us enough war score in total to be able to take Omani and Mombasa. And also one thing about politics in terms of what your people are going to be. Our people are going to be conservative in majority for a long time. And usually, the more you have empires outside of your main heartland, and the more you have colonies that you turn into states, you're going to be more and more conservative. Because, as you can see, the industrialized ones actually have quite a lot of people in liberal, and eventually we'll have them in socialists, especially if there's a lot of craftsmen. But for now, they're basically all conservative, and you can see, look at Russia. They are very rural, conservative, all conservative. Conservative, look at ours, conservative, all freaking conservative. Which I hate, but you know what? I'll deal with it. Even though I love reforms. But I also love expanding, so I'm kind of stuck, aren't I? Well. I really do like this game if I harp on it sometimes, but there's minor changes. And I really love the changes they made in House Divided to things like national focus points. They actually made them remotely useful. Or as much as I harp on the assimilation system, if you're playing a newer world one, it's really, really, really useful. Because look, they'll get a ton of immigrants, and they'll assimilate them right away. As we can see, we're basically the #1 migratory power because we have a lot of militancy and a lot of consciousness, and both those raise immigration. And we have no reforms, unfortunately, because those damn aristocrats don't want to give up any of their power. Yeah. They suck. We are awesome. Ooh, they built a fertilizer factory. That's good. Bohemia, not great, but not terrible. Fertilizer factories used to really suck. Oh, see right here. Lots of railroads. But we can't help with those right now because we are broke. But we're not bankrupt unlike freaking last time. I wish I knew why that happened. I've had that occasionally where it's just random bankruptcy. Oh, I didn't notice that, did I? God damn. See what I meant by I hate Prussia? They will be a pain in your ass for a long time. And the amount of influence you get is determined in large part by how high you are in the world standings. And because we're lower than them, we're having a big problem with that. And plus, with Baden, we are not right next to them, unlike France. Okay, so we've started occupying Oman's colonies. Will they give them to us? Yes. Okay. So that's actually really nice, because now we are in a very good position to colonize Africa when that time comes around. Unfortunately, we won't be able to turn them into states or anything like that, because, I mean, come on, look at our population numbers. Wrong tab. Look at those population numbers. 18.7% South German. You're starting to push it when you have 50%. Of course, this reflects real-life situation. Austria, I mean, there are some areas that are South German dominated, specifically this area. And once we, if we ever form Germany, obviously it probably won, but just don't want to hedge my bets or jinx it, because Prussia really hates me so much. But once we get that, and once we turn these into it, we'll have more. But for now, we can see there aren't that many places that with a whole lot of South German people, unfortunately, which really sucks. But you have to live with what you got. And I mean, really, you don't need that. There's only one real reason to have a whole lot of primary culture, and that's to colonize. And Austria can do fine on its own. I mean, look at that, 10 million people. You can't really complain about that too much. Definitely just do that. I mean, it's no Japan or no France, but it's still good. And here we can see primary exports, steel and coal. And that's, of course, coming from all this because we have this huge, massive Bohemia and, see, coal, iron,